This week on The New Co-Founder, we delve into the beginnings of Inspire's first content strategy, the structure of virality, script writing, recording, and the anxiety behind learning to edit for the first time. Enjoy this two-part episode as much as I enjoyed learning from it.
Okay, so it is day 22. And yeah, had a really good conversation with the team last night, even though my body language might not suggest it. Basically, I had built up some ideas in my head of exactly the kind of content that we needed to create, or at least I had ideas, and I was also really enjoying the creation of some of these pieces of content, and I was having a really good time. And I do believe it's really important to kind of enjoy what you do. And I have also experienced that when you enjoy what you do, then you're more likely to create a really positive output. So I was creating the content, really enjoying what I was doing. We'd had 1 week of released content, and that was like 1 week to accumulate initial learnings. And the initial learnings were, okay, cool, kind of obviously very obvious learnings. Creators who have huge followings, if they refer to our Instagram page, a lot of people will come and then we'll get a lot of views. Cool. So we noticed the Reels started kind of reflecting that. So creators that had between 1,000 and 3,000 followers had views ranging between 200 and 700. One particular creator who has over 200,000 followers on Instagram and over 400,000 on YouTube, as soon as she referred her audiences to us, the views went up to 6,000, 7,000. What didn't happen was people started following the actual Inspire Technologies account. Now, so in hindsight, this is really good. This is why you execute, you launch, you get it out, you take a look at the learnings and you refine. So I had a conversation with the team last night, and one of the things we looked at was our kind of conversion funnel. So we've added it. So what we really need, what we're looking for is, sorry, I should have caveated with that. What we want is 10,000 registered users for Inspire. With 10,000 registered users, we can have a lot of customer interviews, we can have a lot of discussions, and we can start, enhancing Inspire to get to our North Star goal, like the ultimate thing that we want to achieve by the end of Q1 next year, which is 1,000 daily active users. Daily active users really means that we have edited and adjusted the product enough to find a value proposition that users are really excited about and they really love using it and they're really pumped. So just to confirm, our North Star metric, the thing that we're all working towards right now, is 1,000 daily active users. That would mean that we basically found a really good product market fit for the solution and people are actually using it. To do that, our logic is we need 10,000 registered users who have registered to trial the product and give us feedback. There's 10,000. Those users start giving us feedback. Some will drop off, some will continue, and we will be able to work our way through that feedback until we create a technology that gets 1,000 daily active users. Right. So in creating the content last night, okay. So when I was talking to the guys, some of the feedback when I was talking to the team, some of the feedback I received was, some of the descriptions are a bit bloggish. Cool. That is specific to the earliest ones, not the new ones. So cool. That's been corrected. The creator interviews, like the content is, it's interview content. So it is content, but is it directly tying back to what we're doing at Inspire? Not necessarily. We are using a creator's referenceability. So creators are giving us their referenceability. Creators are giving us credit and referenceability. So by working with them, people who trust those creators will be more inclined to trust the Inspire Technologies brand. However, the content structure at the moment isn't necessarily linking towards the Inspire value proposition, and it's not driving people to Inspire Technologies to sign up. So the team started talking to me about creating viral content. They started throwing out all of these ideas, and I started to panic a little bit for a couple of reasons. One, it's super easy to give out ideas, but when you're the person that then has to make the ideas happen, that can feel like quite a heavy load, because if you don't know how to actually make that video, if you don't know how to set it up, if you don't know how to use the software to make someone's vision happen, it just feels like a heavy load. And so that person can kind of share an idea. And that's not what the guys intended at all. What the guys intended was to give me really good ideas, and they gave me really good ideas. I guess what I'm trying to convey is that if you, I guess in my case, if you have anxiety and if you're the kind of person that is doing the execution, it feels like quite a heavy load to carry. And it's actually not that bad at all. The ideas were really good. But what's interesting is that I find sometimes the anxiety hits me in a way where I just go into this kind of shock, panic mode. I'm hearing all these ideas and I'm thinking, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And then that I don't know how to do this then turns into this whole like, you can't do this. Who are you to try and do this? What were you thinking, resigning from your job and stepping into this field? And so it's kind of interesting how anxiety like plays its hand in that way. But that said, I kept my mouth shut during the meeting, listened to the guys. The guys were sharing really good ideas, and I could tell they were sharing really good ideas. Dimitri and the team was talking about we need to create content that's going to go viral. And the ideas that I had for content were very like, oh, we filmed this and then this person will refer one or two. Dimitri was thinking virality. And even though, and I realized my attachment to my idea was because I could see the logic behind my idea, whereas virality seems like this just effervescent unicorn of an idea that feels unobtainable. And as Dimitri was talking, I realized I need to become comfortable with ambiguity. I need to become comfortable reaching for things that I may not necessarily understand. You know, being process driven and being really structured has gotten me to this point, and I appreciate that. But to go to the next level, to be the CEO I want to be and the entrepreneur I want to be, I need to start learning how to take a leap of faith. So as Dimitri was speaking, I accepted virality should be an objective, because in the instance that we are able to hit virality, and this is the time when I would be able to learn how to achieve virality because I'm not working full time right now. In the instance that we were able to hit it, it would be completely remarkable for us. Like, it would mean views, which would mean fans, which would mean like actual virality linking directly to us, right? Not like a random post that has nothing to do with Inspire. If we were to create technology about Inspire Technologies and what we're doing, and it went viral, and it resulted in fans and followers, which resulted in signups, which then gave Nate a lot of work to do, that would be amazing. And so I accepted the concept of virality in the meeting. And so, yeah, the guys are absolutely right. What was getting in the way was my anxiety, and I really wanted to kind of like highlight that. Okay, cool. So then after the meeting, I was left with this sense of like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not a business to consumer marketer. You're a business to business, commercial person. You're a business to business commercial consultant. What were you thinking trying to step into the space? Interesting how like self-talk, when you say it out loud, suddenly, it's interesting when you use, it's really interesting when you have like self-talk and you say it out loud. It's kind of like, wow, you are really like not that nice to yourself. Anyway, luckily for me, one of my best friends, Diana, actually, one of my best friends has launched a new startup called Tireless, and it's all about helping people balance burnout, increase productivity, but also do it in a way that makes them happy and feel like really fulfilled. She actually practiced a session on us last night. It was one of her first workshops, and she practiced with a small group of us. And it was just amazing going through this presentation because I felt so listened to. There was so much in that presentation that highlighted how I feel. Like there's not enough time in the day. I don't have control over my time. I'm never going to get to sleep tonight because I've got to do all these things. And it was really nice just kind of sitting through this presentation. And one thing I loved is that my friend who's started Tireless has really taken the time to kind of outline what these thought structures look like, and then also kind of challenge them with other thought structures, which I felt very easy to connect with. And so safe to say at the end of the session, I felt a whole lot of peace. I felt like, do you know what? anything I've done that has seemed impossible, and there are a few things I've done which I thought were completely impossible. I've done them like having my own apartment. I've done them by breaking the goals up into chunks, having faith, and going bit by bit. And that's exactly what we're going to do with virality. So the reason I'm creating this video today is because I decided this morning, even though I feel like I have a million things to do. So what are things that I could be doing with my time that I would have been doing before our meeting yesterday? I would have finished editing Luca's interview video. I would have finished Dimitri's interview video. I would have planned in a time with Nate to do his interview video. I would have finished, I've got about 5 creator interviews I need to edit. I would have finished creating those, including intros. I would have, Nate did a street session where he took Inspire on his mobile and went up to people and scanned their outfits and got feedback. That's a cool piece of content. Cool, I would have edited that. There was just so much I feel I need to do. And I felt really out of control of my time, and there was this new concept of virality, and I thought, how am I going to do everything I need to do and then study virality? It's not going to make any sense. And then I realized I am in control of my time. I'm completely in control of my time. In fact, what I do is completely defined by me, not defined by things I thought I wanted. And so I went on YouTube and I typed in how to make TikTok videos go viral, Instagram videos go viral. And I built out myself a playlist. And so instead of doing everything that I want to do, I am now studying how to go viral. So today I'll be documenting what that journey looks like and what I'm learning. So I built out a Google spreadsheet, which has been really helpful. I built out a Google spreadsheet, which has been really helpful. I'm labeling the videos. I'm taking notes as I go through each video. The next step for today is to then go through TikTok and find, So I'm going to document today as I learn about how to go viral. And today is also about me taking control of my time and thinking about what kind of content do we actually need to be creating on our social media accounts that links into the value proposition of Inspire, that tells people about us and builds a connection between us and people who are interested in what we're doing, and then ultimately gets us to that goal of 10,000 registered users that Nate can speak to get feedback on the product and help us enhance it so we get to our North Star of 1,000 daily active users. Okay, let's keep going.
Actually holding your viewers' attention and their
bigger online businesses, and today I'm going to be sharing
move it back, zoom or more on your next TikTok. What if I told you that there's a proven way for you to make out?
If you're a small TikTok creator,
Again, big.
millions of dollars. Doesn't matter if you're
Zoom in,
being on TikTok is below.
zoom into the face again.
Leave every
Edit.
reason that you're not going viral on TikTok right
That's alright, so first press on video. People are like, but this part is like because it just makes the edit look super easy.
So my initial post this morning was one where I was still kind of processing everything from yesterday. Since this morning, I have gone ahead and watched probably 7 YouTube videos that were worth it, that I've gone and made notes on. Of the 7 YouTube videos, I've taken out some core concepts, which I'll put in the description to this particular video here. I'm already thinking some things. I'm thinking for Inspire, we need to narrow it down to just Instagram and TikTok, because I think both of those allow you to do lead forms, which is really cool. I think also what's interesting is I've gone from making this personal. So this was initially like a personal, I had my heart set on a particular vision. And now I'm starting to realize a new vision has been created in my head. I think what I'm finding is I like to be creative and I like to understand things and build things in function of what I understand. And now that I'm understanding new things, I'm building a new vision of how I want the content to look. And it's a lot more in line with what the guys are suggesting. I also think there's a middle ground. I spoke to a creator today I spoke to Adeola today. We were meant to have a podcast interview, but she didn't have time, and I also wanted to get back to the videos, and so we're going to catch up again later. But I asked her for her thoughts, because she's built up a bit of a following, and she said to me she actually likes to build the community. She likes to go slow and make everything about quality. And so I think there's a middle ground. I think there's a middle ground where we can create content that documents our journey and is really sincere,
but at the same time, here and there, we sow some posts which are still tied into Inspire, but we're testing new ideas and new creative ways to go viral. So it's interesting. What was initially like a panic is now that I'm starting to understand the mechanics of what's involved with going viral, I'm feeling a lot more enthusiastic and energized about the idea of testing new things. I still don't obviously understand how to do it, and I'm still there's so much to learn, but now that I can see more of how to do it and do it in a way that isn't like hours and hours and hours of lost time, it actually feels a whole lot more exciting. I also found some videos which were specifically about editing, and I realized there are ways to edit a lot faster, because if the content is shorter, there's less to edit. So if I can get my instincts clean enough on exactly what to put into the content, I can spend less time on it and get more return on investment. One YouTuber was like, I spent an hour and it didn't get any views. I'm like, I'm definitely spending more than an hour. And this reminds me of when I was a kid and I had a friend who was an industrial designer, and he was told by his boss, if you were at this level, you'd be producing X amount of output per day. And I remember him and I talking, and he said, it's not possible. He's crazy. And then years later, he was a fully matured industrial designer, and he said, dude, I produce so much more in a day than I used to when I was at that level. The guy was totally right. So I think there's an experience thing from my end. I think I needed to adjust my vision to understand more of what the fellows were talking about. And now that I've got some clearer ideas, I can begin researching. So it is now, that time's wrong. So it is now 12:30. So I'm going to begin researching the kind of posts that are being produced by startups and posts related to people trying to find things that they love. And I'm going to see what kind of content ideas come off the back of that. So midday update. Let's see how we go by the end of the day.